Good people. Come on in the building. Come on in the building. It's your homie HerbMan. Listen, you back upside the head with another hot bango boogie. Please go tell somebody. Go tell somebody homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I'm your homie HerbMan. I'm your neighborhood holistic practitioner. Okay. So what we do here is simply on the HerbMan Show is teach people how to heal themselves, you guys. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So we're coming live from TikTok and from YouTube. All right. So if you guys want to follow me on YouTube, please support your homie HerbMan. All right. We're coming live from South Africa, the information station. You don't have to pay for any of this information. How you pay for this information is simply by paying attention. And how you pay attention is by double tapping that screen, you guys. Getting us up to 100K at the bare minimum. All right. At the bare minimum, we do 100K or less. All right. Or 100K or more. All right. At the bare minimum. Right. So, but in order to start this off, man, we always give 1,000 likes out to the people that are watching. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get to the subject matter at hand. All right. So, but for months, we've been teaching you guys and preaching to you guys about the benefits of the program which we provide for you, which is called your owner's manual. Okay. Your owner's manual simply serves as a guide for you to be able to get the optimal performance, longevity, and usage out of your paradigm of you being here. So it's your ultimate guide to get you back to nature, get you back to your nature first, and then to understanding how you can incorporate who you are naturally as an individual into the natural paradigm that nature brings to it. Okay, so it's how to fit you into the groove instead of how to fit the groove into you. Okay, let me repeat that one more time for my folk in the back room because I know I might have some folk with the hearing aids on back there. This is a program for you to how to fit you into the program instead of how to fit the program into you. So you're taking full control back over how you fit in the paradigm instead of trying to fit this whole particular paradigm into you. All right. That's what we're trying to get you to understand. So with this particular owner's manual for your funky measly little $50 that we always say is to understand that this is the best investment that you can do for your health. In this particular paradigm, in this particular space, having an ancient system that works very simplistic, works very effective, is the best alternative to the healthcare system on the planet. Now, y'all can keep on trying to buy herbs from somebody else, keep on buying products and buying treatments and keep spending your money. But value is not decided by the quantity of the cash amount on your receipt. Value is not quantified by the quantity on the receipt or the sales price. And you fool too many times thinking that because it costs a lot, it must mean more. Because it costs a lot, it must go do more. And we know Air Jordans will get a hole in them just like Shaq shoe. We know that a Mercedes Benz tire blow out just like a Chrysler Buick or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so at the end of the day, it don't matter what it is. That Samsung refrigerator you got with the TV on it, that goddamn defrost to go out on your son bitch ass just like this old ass Frigidaire I got, and you just have a no good refrigerator. So at the end of the day, there is no necessary reason to think that something has to cost you a whole lot of money to be at its most highly effective way. That is not nobody's business plan. From McDonald's to Burger King to Taco Bell to Del Taco to the Dollar General and the Family Dollar, all came into your community selling dollar up under items and become conglomerates. And you weren't worried about quality then. Okay. But what we're offering you is not a particular profound product more than a profound program. That's what we're offering you. Okay. Now, just like yesterday, because we had 1,000 likes, so we're gonna get right into it. Just like yesterday, we were telling you guys about anxiety. We break down the etymology of anxiety, realize that the etymology of anxiety started out with anxious. Anxious is about being distressed and troubled. Then when you go back further than that into the Latin terminology of anxious, you start getting into it being painful, it being a chokehold, and it having all these, you being vexed and all these types of things. That's what the root word of anxious means. Right. And so we was understanding how anxiety can keep us pinned down into this hellish mentality. And so I looked up today about anxiety and the loss of control. Okay. And sometimes the loss of control is more than just a mental thing. It could really be a physiological effect, right? That means that it can have some issues disease-wise to it. Real tangible things can come out of just having these fluctuations in the psychological aspect of the mind. So this aspect of you losing control of your actions and your mind are normally attributed to what we would call a panic attack, right? But in these particular types of times, it feels like you just ain't got no full control over life no more. Normally, people tend to go through these things when they are about to commit a violent act, or when they're about to do something atrocious, or when they're about to go and do something coping mechanism called self-harm. This is what normally people go through when they having these particular episodes that you see wind up on the news. But this is also what you're going through as a microcosm in your particular mind and body and soul. And this is the fundamental reason why I am going to always say that the root cause of diseases is starting with the environment in which you put that particular species in. The root cause of disease is going to stem from the environment in which you put that particular species in. And if it doesn't know how to adapt to that environment in a more holistic way, something about that living organism is going to burn out. Now, what we're offering you with the owner's manual is that way, that understanding, that navigation out of the particular maze that you call these folks having you in. And for your little funky measly $50, all we require is a birthday, not your blood type, not your blood sample, not your hair sample, your stool sample, your urine sample. We ain't gonna prick you, pry you, poke you. We ain't, it's non-invasive, non-intrusive. All you giving us is the simplest form of information, which is a birthday. From your birthday, we let mama do the rest of the work. Or funky means a little $50. We let mama do the rest of the work. Mama gonna tell you what to eat, what herbs to take, what things to do, what spiritual tendencies you need to be trying to release from your body, what physical tendencies you need to keep an eye on. Mama gonna give you the whole rundown on you. Now, who's the best source of information, me or mama? And so this is what you don't understand, is that what you're seeing here on TikTok today is a man that has been on the planet since the beginning of time. An herb man, herb doctor, has been on the planet since the beginning of time. And we ain't never just gave you nothing without dealing with the spirit world. So I don't know why you think you're gonna come over here and get something without dealing with the spiritual world, dealing with your mind. See, that's always been me. And we've always been able to go back into nature to pull out the remedy for your little physical ailment you're getting in this physical paradigm. We've always been able to go back into nature and talk to nature, talk to the plant, talk to the water, talk to the sun, talk to these particular elements to get out some reciprocity for you. And for our, ain't nobody new. There's an old spirit here telling you that yes, you've been looking for natural remedies, but you got to get somebody that know how to talk to nature. Thank you. Come on, you guys, get us up to 100K, man. You keep tapping, I'll keep talking. This is just what we do here. Okay. You got to understand the human design and the human frame. In the human frame, there's so many things that you can do that you don't understand that you can do, but you're doing them anyway. But you don't understand you're doing them when it comes to your time of crisis. You only you only are knowledgeable to the things you do when it feeds you in your fleshly ego. But anytime that you get a damage to your will, a damage to your control, you don't know what to do. And it's simple when I tell you that all you got to do is the shit that got you in it. You got to do it to get you out of it. The same energy it took to create the disease is the same energy it's going to take to create the healing. Changing one's life is not just to the cancer go away. Changing one's life is not just till my kidneys get better. Changing one's life is not just if you remove the obstruction in my digestive system. Changing one's life is not just the renewal of the liver to make you breathe a little better than what you used to. That's not changing one's life goes further and goes beyond the revival of a particular organ. It's a lifestyle. Okay, it's a lifestyle. So what you must understand is how important it is to understand how to get to somebody that can talk to nature on your behalf, but then give you the whole playbook on you. I wouldn't need to keep it. I wouldn't need to keep this. It's the whole playbook on you. Okay. So there are certain questions that you have to ask yourself when you're looking at healing. The first thing is, what are the triggers that cause you to go down this road? Okay. The second thing is, what's in your mind? The third thing is, what were you feeling? And how did you react? What did you do? That's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is, how 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 did you feel in your body? What did you feel going on in your body? When you think about Chick-fil-A, when you think about that good steak, when you think about bacon and pork chop, and you think about them hot wings and lemon pepper on them, and when you think about this old roast and the pig feet and the good old chili, when you think about macaroni with all the cheese on it. See, when you think about a good old pound cake and red velvet and 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 think about lemon meringue. Y'all don't know about lemon meringue pie. See, I'm from the old school. Y'all don't know about that lemon meringue. Okay, but then you have maybe nano pudding and 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 then you may have had a little apple pie or a blackberry pie or a blueberry pie or a little homemade apple pie. Y'all know nothing about that. Or maybe leave the old peach cobbler on the side. See, these are all of your fruit pies that you don't eat no more that you should be eating instead of eating candy. Eat fruit pies. But anyway, so you got all of these delectables. But my point is, what does that make you feel like when you hear that? Did that trigger something in you with that big old double quarter pounder with cheese and the meat sweating like it been outside all day and you got all your cheese and your tomato and I used to like mine sloppy. Burger King make your burger sloppy. I used to like my Whopper sloppy, and then I like with it. You better not make me have to hold it whole burger. You better not make me have to hold it whole burger. Okay? Or one of them big old juicy steaks that you can get from Ray's on the River or Ray's in the City. See, how does that make you feel? Is these triggers when you get your little cookie cake for your birthday with all the ice cream on it? I remember back in the day, the best cookie was the one that was made with cookie and brownie. Ooh, we had the cookie and the brownie on there. Y'all might well go get you one of them today, going out there, get you some butter pecan ice cream. The triggers. When the football game come on and they show you old 6-pack of Michelob, knowing good well you don't drink no Michelob, but that little old 6-pack of Michelob and 6-pack of Coors Light, black folks don't drink that, but that still make them go to the store buy him his own bill. He ain't finna go buy no Coors Light. He finna go buy him old 6-pack of Bud Ice, 6-pack of Bud Light, 6-pack of Budweiser, 6-pack of Heineken. He ain't finna buy what's on the store, but the store commercial still made him go buy his own thing. My point is, what are your triggers? After you understand your triggers, what is going on in your mind? After you start thinking about what you're thinking about, how did that make you feel? After you understood that it did bring about this feeling in you, what did you do? How did you react when you got that feeling? Then you realize what you did and how you reacted from the feeling. And now we got to start asking a question about what went on in your body, so that we can piece together the connection between mind and body, which is what we're doing here with your measly $50 for you to pay with your owner's money. Now, I done stood up here for years telling y'all this same stuff over and over and over again, all kind of ways, to get back to you understanding that this is a roadmap for you to understand what you require in different seasons of your life. Some seasons of your life, you're going to require more physical energy to be exerted. That's more masculine energy. That's more intellect. That's more of being able to have to get out here and yourself. The doing, right? But there is also a point, if you live long enough, there's also a point in this paradigm that's going to require you to do more things spiritually. Because if you don't know about or understand the balance between stuff and what I'm talking about, you're going to run out your physical, which is what you would call death. We don't chase disease, we're chasing death. Death is a consciousness we're trying to eradicate from your brain by showing you and illustrating to you the life path. And you never saw this in a diagram, so you're trying to figure out how in the hell he know that that's my life path. But if you gave me your age and gave me your zodiac sign, I could tell you where you are at on this yellow brick road. You get this all for your measly, funky $50 and the owner's money. You also get this free watching me because I'm finna do it for a few people here in a minute. Okay? So we can track you just like your phone got a tracker, just like the GPS in your car, just like the GPS in your airplane, just like the GPS in your cell phone. We can track you through life now. What this does is allows you to be a little bit more preventative in your measures by understanding life a little better and what's going on in your life instead of always fighting against the waves. This then will, in turn, when you stop fighting against the waves, then the alternative of fighting against the waves is now being in line with nature. Now you're flowing with nature because now you understand the lesson. Now it ain't even about understanding how what you're going through for the lesson, more than it's about understanding that I'm going through a lesson. Ain't nobody gonna like no ad whooping, but if I know I'm gonna get one versus not knowing, it's a little bit better for me. It's just a little bit better. Because at least I can prepare my booty cheese a little better. You know, so put on a couple more pants. It ain't gonna stop no ad whooping, but at least I can be prepared a little bit for the storm. That's what this owner's manual was doing for you. It's a preventative method tool that is actually more beneficial as you are healthy than if you're sick. But can it deal with your acute illnesses today? Yes, it can. Again, I repeat, there's always been a HerbMan on the planet, and we've always been able to have a language to go back and talk to nature. I'm just showing you the way that I do it. Now you get this unction from nature. You get this. You allow nature to cough up this information about this baby born on this birthday that we call the manufacturing date. And from that manufacturing date, you get a model number, you get your 2 sun signs, you get your foods and herbs, you get your spiritual and physical tendencies, you get your activities, you get your next life transitions, you get all this different information about you, along with what you need, to solve your health issues. You can't beat it. But the real things that you got to question yourself, what are the triggers? What goes through my mind after I've been triggered? How do I feel after I feel it in my mind? What do I do? How do I act after I feel it? What's going on in my body? Okay. BRB don't say anything I need to know. What y'all talking about on here? BRB don't say anything I need to know. Yeah, that's all it's about, Sabrina. It's all about just knowing your tendencies, right? And the earlier you know your tendencies, and the earlier your parents know your tendencies, the more you can circumvent, obviously, right? But for a lot of us who have lived a little longer in this paradigm, we can start to understand a few different things when we do hear about our tendencies, knowing that that may be something I should know. I should know. When you give me your birthday, I should know shit from a birthday. So the fact that this could be accurate in any way possible gives you the efficacy of nature. Let me repeat that one more time for my little 2 or 3 folk I got back in the back. First of all, I don't know y'all from a can of paint. Okay. So the fact that you can just give me your birthday and for me to say anything that's accurate about your life is crazy as hell. So that automatically going to allow me to see the majesticness of nature off the rip because I shouldn't be accurate with shit for a birthday. Okay. I shouldn't be accurate with that from a birthday. So the mere fact that this even exists is going to be one of those things that will definitely help you along your health journey. Look, we've known that we've been out here trying to get a reciprocity for so many different things in our health walk, whether it be our mental health, our emotional health, whether it be our social and relational health, our financial health, whether it be our spiritual health, as well as our physical health. There's always been this thing of where we came into the paradigm fragmented. We came into this paradigm trying to put the pieces of the puzzle back together again. Everybody has faltered. We have so much human hurt, so much different things to actually, have issues with. I mean, there are true things that happen in this paradigm that really don't make no sense. So we all have, reasons to be objective, subjective. But at the end of the day, if you ask me about what is it that I'm trying to offer you, what is it that I'm bringing to the table? Why should you tune in to the HerbMan Show? Why have I been doing this since 2005? Or why have I been on YouTube since 2008 preaching this? And what is it that I'm really trying to teach my children and everything by doing this? And why the fuck did I just leave my job in America and retire and leave to move to South Africa? And what is it that is the message behind my life or whatever it is that I'm trying to put out here in this time and space. And it's that if you really are down to learn, if you really are down to learn and research, I'm talking to my brainiacs out there, my nerds out there. If you really are down to learn and you really are down to research, you can find truth. You can find the truth. But sometimes in your research, it's just in relaxation. You can do a lot deeper research just in relaxing. How to hear me? But I'm gonna say this one more time for the people back there that didn't hear me. You can do a lot of deep research just in relaxation in nature. The only thing that's going to allow your condition to evolve is through understanding science. The science of the body, the science of herbs, the science of plants, animals, the science of stones, crystals, the science of the sun and the water, the science of the air, the science of all of it, and how it creates the ecosystem and what you would call an environment. And why does the temperature remain this way? And do you understand how temperature is even created? It's science, but it's also spiritual. And spirituality being able to be understood and known is called science. Let me repeat that one more time. Spirituality has been able to be understood and known is called science. So this is an ancient spirituality, but it's an ancient science. That science means that it is based on numerology. Science has measurements and quantifications made with numbers, equations that bring applications, that bring formulations, that bring results. Science is numerology. Your birthday gives me everything. Your zodiac sign and your date of birth gives me everything. Because nature is going to, you have been recorded in the book of life. Every individual that is on this planet has been recorded in the book of life. And there has been various ways that we have kept record of births. How did they know that Jesus was going to be born in Egypt? Because they followed these stars. Following the stars was the indication of where the baby Messiah was going to be born. They don't know his name. They don't know who he is. They don't know where he is. They don't know why he is. They don't know nothing. They just know how to find him. They're looking at stars and saying whatever baby is born under the light of this, the most brightest star in this day is going to be the Messiah. Then you got folk that were born 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before. You got folk that were born an hour before. It looked like it would light up, but it still wasn't ready yet. You got folk that were born 24 hours before it light up. It was just a little lit then, but it still wasn't ready yet. You had folk born a minute or two before it got there, but it still wasn't ready yet. But then right at the moment, they knew that this baby is the one because they followed the star. It said that you shall use these things and you shall see these things for your signs and wonders, but you can use them. Nature gives you the best example of how science works, but AKA how spirituality works. So you want me to go back into geometry to pull out something, then this is geometry. You want me to go back into genetics to pull out something, then this is the DNA scroll. If you want me to go back into medicine to do something, then this is the cartouches. If you want me to go back into finances to do something, then you better look at these symbologies. If you want me to go back into religion to do something, then understand that this is the cross with the little red scarf sitting out there in front of your little churchyard. This is meteorology. This is it can tell you when it's gonna rain. I'm talking about rain in life. I ain't talking about come outside, just outside, but rain in your life. We're telling you that at what point should you exude more physical than spiritual? At what point should you understand that you need to rest more and be exude energy? All of this for a funky measly little $50. You can't beat it. Okay? You can't beat it. Definitely my professor. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on, you guys? What's going on, you guys? All right. So this is one of the most amazing things, and you don't even know it. So what are some of y'all triggers? Keep tapping that screen, you guys. I keep talking, keep tapping, I keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. What are some of your triggers? Let's talk. Let's talk about it. What are some of your triggers? Once we get up to 50K, you guys will do a few birthdays, okay? Once we get up to 50K, we'll do a few birthdays. All right. So the faster you get there, the faster we'll do the birthday. All right. Triggers. What are some of your triggers? Do you know your triggers? Do you know when you about to cut on that explicit channel? Do you know when you about to fire up the cigarette? You know what conditions make you fire up that cigarette, fire up that, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you understand? What are your triggers? Somebody said feeling unsafe, being alone at times. Okay, okay. These are your triggers, right? Boredom, Alejandro. So if you look at those three by themselves, they all have a connecting window. We'll talk about those. Stress, okay? Being angry at someone is a trigger for you. Okay, well, first of all, why is you angry? So we're trying to figure out what made you angry. Oh wow. Okay. Negative people is a trigger. Okay. All right. What's going on, Aqua Boogie? Welcome to the platform. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. All right. So we got a few triggers here that we're understanding that if I'm alone, if I am angry at people, if I'm around the wrong crowd, if I'm not being talked to a certain way, if I'm not being heard, right? All of these different things can start to pan out to be a trigger for me to then do what, right? So then after the trigger, what goes on through your mind? Okay. So after you get triggered from those situations, what goes on in your mind after that? Are you finna, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, when you get to that trigger, and it's gonna happen to each of us, what goes on in your mind? Come on, somebody, I'm talking to you today. Please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. What's up? I'm talking to you today. What is going on in your mind after you have been triggered? Anybody want to talk to us today? What is going on in your mind after you've been triggered? What's going on, you guys? Honestly, addictive habits, insecurity. I start overthinking. It's me or them. Anxiousness, uh, reaction. Go be alone and take a bath when we are triggered. When I'm triggered, I TY, overthink. I retreat. Okay. So the thing is about what's going on in your mind. So the first thing that's going on in our mind is either to be sympathetic to the situation or to be parasympathetic. What that means is, are we going to fight or flight? Anytime that you get a trigger or any type of entrance into your environment, anything, cold weather, hot weather, an animal, hunger, okay, whatever these things are, these are triggers, right? That's going to cause you to have to make a decision. Do you fight or flight? Okay. Now, when you get into these trigger situations, you're going to do one or two things. You're going to meet it head on, which is fight it. That's a trigger for you. Or you're going to retreat it, run away from it. You see that? Now, I've been teaching you guys here. Now, here I want y'all to follow me because this is how you teach people about themselves, the human frame. You can't hear yourself if you don't know yourself. So it's going to take this. It's going to take this. So walk with me a little bit. We're trying to actually heal. I said, goddamn herbs for you to be making me rich every day of my life because you want to keep coming to HerbMan. It's time for you to be self-sufficient. So you have to live to the human condition. I get it. I know you want some fast acting, tenacting, but the reality of it is that that's not a true statement because it's not fast acting. Disease is not fast acting, so a cure isn't. But they are possible, and I've seen them happen. And I am a recipient of curing myself, so I know it happened. Now, with that being said, let's go back. Let's talk about what we're talking about. So now I understand what's going on in my mind. And once I get triggered, I instantly get hit with the decision making of fight it or flight it. That's what's going on in my mind. It's a instant decision I got to make to fight or flight the situation. You get what I'm saying? What's going on over there, YouTube? What's going on? Greetings. Once I get hit with the trigger, the animal coming in my environment, hunger, shelter, bills, diagnosis, job, need to make some money, need to eat, need to sleep, need to drink. As soon as I get hit with a trigger, I get hit with the decision of fight or flight. That's what's going on in the mind. Now, whatever decision I make creates the feeling. Okay? So you're a fighter, naturally. I ain't mad at that. See, you're a fighter. So when you get triggered, you're going to meet it head on. So now what that means to me, though, Natural Natty, is that when you want a hamburger, ain't nobody going to stop you from eating. That's all that means. Okay? That's all that means. When you want some little pepper wing, you're going to do whatever you got to do to convince yourself that I can have these pepper. Like I did good for 2-3 weeks. I can have these pepper wings. So, but that also tells me that you think that way too, because you're a fighter, right? But in a fighter, what is that you just you give in to the situation immediately. If the situation says it's fire, you give in to fire. See, you match energy, so to speak. There's some of us that match the energy, and if we find a giver, we are receiving. And if we find a receiver, then we are a giver. We instantly match what is necessary for that moment. That's the fighter. But the flighter is always in opposition of itself. Not as mutable, not as changeable, not as adaptable as the fighter. So our first notion is to retreat in order to watch your ass just a tidbit more to figure out what we need to do with you. You see? But each and every one of us, before we pull up to McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, and whoever else you pulling up to, the liquor store, the weed man, before you pull up, there was a trigger and you had to make a decision to fight or flight. That's what went on in your mind. How did that make you feel? Now let me ask y'all that. When you this particular fight, right, meet it at his head on, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? Do you feel in control? Do you feel that that's a necessary approach? Or when you are, if you're in that flight response, right? Always having to take a little bit more time to assess the situation. If you're always making that decision to most times flight on an issue in order to give you just a little bit more time to figure things out, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? You can always do both. I'm talking to y'all like that. How does that make you feel? Because that's the third question. We got the trigger. We got what's going on in the mind. Now we got to understand, how does it make me feel? When I fight, how does that make me feel? Do I feel secure? Do I feel like I know? Do I feel like I'm in control? When I fight a situation, do I feel like I'm in control? When I flight, do I feel like I got a better understanding of a situation if I first respond in a retreatful way? How do I feel when I fight a thing or when I flight a thing? Do I feel like I'm in control? Somebody said balance. Somebody said not in control. I feel proud of myself, honestly, when I fight. Thank you for being honest. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Yes, secure if I address it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Most people, when they meet something head on, they feel like they know what it is. Now, I know where he at. I know What you gonna do? What I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? We got to figure it out on the fly. You know what I'm saying? We got to build it plane while we fly. Is it? It all depends on the situation. Shows Richardson, okay. But in most part, when you make that fight or flight decision, whichever one, is going to make you feel more secure. Period. It don't matter which one of them you chose, right? Both of them, depending on whichever the situation may be for all of you guys out there, any one of them is an attempt to secure you because your first notion is self-preservation. Fight or flight is a decision that you got to make, but it's still under the umbrella of what course of action you're going to take to self-preserve. The trigger happened in the experience, in the environment. The trigger happened. Hungry, animal, a beautiful woman, whatever it is, right? That caught your attention. That's the trigger. That's going to happen. Your second thing is what you're going to do about it. Fight or flight it. Meet it head on or retreat to assess the situation a little bit better. Them are your only two decisions. Both of those two decisions, though, are going to be under the umbrella, predicated upon self-preservation functionality. You're going to fight to self-preserve or you're going to fight to self-preserve. They both are an attempt to secure you in a situation. So the feeling that you're getting from your trigger, y'all follow me? Please keep tapping, keep talking. The feeling that you're getting from the trigger is a sense of security. It's a security check. The feeling that you're getting from a trigger is a security check. Checking on your security abilities, whether to fight it, meet something head on, or whether you're going to fight it, whichever one you want to give me. I'm checking on your offense and your defense. Triggers are security checks. Now, if you don't feel like getting another security check every now and then in your life, then you're not going to be a great security guard of this lifespan. If you think it's impossible to live 120 years old, you'll never buy into the fact that you should have everlasting life. If you think that it's impossible to live and walk upright until 120 years old, you can never buy into the aspect of eternal life, because eternal life can be illustrated to you. It could be drawn, it could be shown to you. Healing could be illustrated to you, it could be drawn, it could be shown to you, it could be characterized, it could be personified. These things could be illustrated to you in order for you to see it in the way that you should be. And when you're reading the Bible, the Quran, the Kabbalah, and all these other texts, you must understand that that's what they're doing. They're characterizing, parabolizing the all of his methodology, right? I'm sorry, not methodology, but mythology. It's all Gnosticism. It's all has a message in it. That's why you see mystery. And the mysteries are going to be in the numbers, spaces and non-spaces, algebra, variables and non-variables, all hold a space. It's how you understand language. And the universal language has always been numbers. And if you think that 120 years old is impossible, you'll never understand the aspect of everlasting life. Once we get this concept down pat, it may take more than me to explain it to you in years to come. It may take Jesse to explain it to you in years to come. But what I'm trying to do is birth a nation and create a nation that understands that there's an ability to go back and talk to nature. And she'll tell you all of the things about you in your diseases and what you need. That's all I'm trying to say. Makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, most of the time I'm forced to flight, so my offense, some shit. It's just a security check. Okay. Now next, cause we still ain't finished. Next, we don't went all the way down to the feeling behind having to have a security check. Now you gotta look at what you're doing. So some trigger done breached your security. This animal, this dog, this pistol, this game, this bully, this McDonald's commercial, this alcohol, this drug, this woman, this job, this conversation has breached my environment, has triggered me to respond. I get this security check on my domain. Now I must do something about it. I got the trigger, I got the thought, I got the feeling. Now here comes the action. How do you walk that security check? You say, well, okay, they got mad at me, so I cussed them out too. I saw the McDonald's commercial. I know I'm 450 pounds, but I still got in the car and drove up there and ordered 2 Big Macs, 2 water fries, 2 apple pies, and 2 hash brown. Because I like to go at about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning when they start cooking the hash brown, but still got the burgers in. See? What did you do? What are you doing? And then when you do cuss them out, when you do get your little drink, when you do smoke your little dank, when you do eat your little ice cream and burgers, when you do have your little sex, when you do get your little check, what's going on in your body, man? Because that means you geeked up on the physical aspects of life. You won't finish the journey that way. I'm sorry to tell all 100 of y'all here that if you don't get this concept down I'm teaching, nothing else nobody can teach you. There's no better preacher, there's no better doctor than what you're hearing. Because it's holistic. That's the thing that you need to understand. If you can't get it, then we ain't ready. You cannot live forever in the body without understanding spiritual contents to this paradigm in order to preserve your body. Meaning that there are lessons in the spiritual paradigm on this planet that is going to teach you how to preserve your physical body so that you can be lasting here with all your senses that you currently right now, so that you can currently know you in heaven, so that you can currently like you know what enjoyment is in English, right? You know how you got all these senses to laugh and to play, but you're supposed to be able to do that forever, but you can't because one thing about it is you will grow old and die, and you got to know how to get over that little task, and you haven't been able to learn that yet. But all the books that make you believe are about the people who have. I know how to drop it. I know how to drop the pen on you. And you don't understand why you reading them books. Why am I reading the books about people who live forever, but I can't? Because that's the aha message. You know how what's called Damon Wayne was in that thing? Message. Hey, look, you don't understand why they keep trying to tell you about Superman and a Spider-Man and a He-Man and a human and a black man and a masked man with a flash man and a this man and a that man. And in the name of Jesus, and in the Osiris, and Heru, and Krishna, and Buddha, and Mithra. I'm talking about they'll throw all kind of gods at you, but it's the same folk. And Hercules, and Zeus. They're gonna keep on throwing all kind of folk at you, right? The heroes. The heroes are the people who can get this. Our ancestors failed at this particular paradigm. The gurus, the yogis, all of them failed at this particular thing. The Egyptians are mummified because they were trying to preserve the body the wrong way. They didn't have enough information about life yet to do were doing, even though they were before their time, they sometimes you could be too ahead without the technology. They knew what they supposed to have been doing, but hell, they only had the resources that they had. Now that you know more information about the human design, now go back to your original understanding of body preservation. Lord, do y'all hear me out there? Now go back to your original mind. You got more information, but you got to now go back to where you that shit you was on something. You just didn't have enough information. You got the information, go back to your previous ideas. Now that you got the information, go back to your previous idea. So what the gurus and what they used to do is they would starve themselves to death. They would fast too long. They would push the physical envelope too far. Now, yes, they will jump into spiritual consciousness, but at the dispel of the body. So they can't come back to tell you about nothing. So when Buddha sat up under that tree, he sat up under that too long. And he can't come back. And whatever happened to Jesus, it was too long. And he can't come back. So what I'm trying to get you to see is that you failed at the knowledge of the information of body preservation. In this paradigm, if we can get you to live 120 years, I won't be teaching this until I'm dead and gone. So you might as well get used to it. For your little funky, measly little $50, it'll always remain that price. Because we trying to do a billion, sir. We ain't worried about a billion, no. It's how many people can we get this information into the palm of their hand? And if we can go lower than that, we'll go lower than that, but we'll never go more than that. I'm out. And we'll go lower than that, we'll go lower than that, but we'll never go more than that. Right? So at the end of the day, this is how precious this information is, that it must be affordable, it must be attainable, it must be accessible. The elite is the 99%, not the 1. Must be attainable, it must be affordable, it must be accessible. Do you hear me? It is a must that you get this. It's almost like the Bible. It's got to be just as accessible. The Bible is the most accessible book on the planet, teaching you about this particular same stuff, but you can't see it because it's not illustrated to you in the proper way of this modern human mind. So what we did, we took the words and extrapolated out of the Bible to make an illustration. From Genesis to Revelation, this is the Bible. Genesis is the beginning of the body, the genealogy of Adam. Adam is an atom, A-T-O-M, which is basically the structure of the physical realm, which then we would deem to be represented as the body. Adam, Adama, A-D-A-M or A-D-A-M-A, is a representation of masculine energy that you would call the left hemisphere of your brain, which operates the right side of your body. So masculine energy, and then you look at the right part side of your body and all of those body parts, like a liver, okay, like a little bit of your gallbladder, maybe a little bit of your pancreas is over there on that right side. You got a right lung. And you'll see that a lot of masculine energy stipulated issues sympathetically can start to affect a lot of those areas in male or female, because this is an energy, not a species. We find the altar of that in the left, the right hemisphere, right? Which is also going to be integrated to the right hemisphere of your brain, okay? Which is going to operate the left side of your body, which is your heart side, okay? Now, what we understand here is that not only is it representing the feminine energy as well, but it's also representing the spirit. So now we got body and we got spirit. We got physical and we got we have masculine energy, feminine energy. We got yin or yang and we got yin. We now have our duality. Now, one of these is telling me that I got to concentrate more on my body at certain points, and another was telling me I got to concentrate more on my spirit or my mind in certain aspects of life. You can go into a season where you need to be focused on your spirit, but you focus on your body. And you're going to run your body down because you're not sharing the space in this paradigm. Get all this information for the funky easily. Any questions thus far? You done? Anybody got questions on what we're offering? So now, with this type of information, and it's utilized as a navigation tool, and it's one of our most ancient abilities to access a program that we can get into in our health consciousness, then oh wow, that makes all the difference in the world. Now, don't tell me that this should actually work. That's a whole nother thing. But in understanding the human frame and the human mind, we're now saying, okay, well, cool. Now, if I understand what trigger do to me, how trigger make me feel, then I know I have to make decisions between the fight in me, the physical, or the flight in me, the feminine, the masculine is the fight, the feminine is the flight. Okay, the give or the receive in me. My first initial is to do that. It's going to quantify also how you're reacting in this paradigm. You will know that if you're more of a fighter than a flighter, then you're more masculine energy than feminine energy. Okay? And we'll be able to understand the imbalance between those behaviors. And that's what this thing is all about. It's the balance of how you respond to stimuli in your environment. How you respond to if I show you this opportunity. How you gonna respond if I show you this ice cold iced tea? How you gonna respond when I show you this butt naked ass female? How you gonna respond when I show you this money? How you gonna respond when I show you this chicken? How you gonna respond when I show you this family? How you gonna respond when I show you this lipstick? How you gonna respond when I show you this weave? How you gonna respond when I show you these new shoes? How you gonna respond when I show you these new shirts? How you gonna respond when I show you this new recipe? That's what this is all about. These are triggers. And we're caught up in a slaughter every day by our wants, needs, and desires. Our wants, needs, and desires. They create the triggers. Our wants, needs, and desires. They create the triggers. They create the environment. Smoke the smoke, but you got smoking pot. You sitting at home by yourself. You're alone. You're sitting at home by yourself. But then you got this little factuation with, explicit stuff. It's because when you're by yourself, that's all you're doing to yourself. You're just getting horny every 5 minutes. You know you're by yourself. You gotta be doing something more than getting horny when you're alone. Yes, if you're gonna keep getting horny when you're by yourself, you're gonna keep playing with yourself, and you're gonna keep turning on the TV. Because it's something about you being alone that the first thing you think about is bothering yourself. Some folk though think about going to the store drinking themselves, staying at the job working themselves, going to the restaurant eating themselves. But you are thinking about touching yourself when you're in these alone states. Other people do other things to themselves. If you had a camera behind closed doors before, what these folks do, they do all kinds of stuff to themselves. Right? But at the end of the day, it's the triggers and the stimuli in your environment that's causing you to react this way. And these are the things that you need to concentrate on to maintain your cure status, to maintain your health and healing status. Remember that this is a permanent state of being. So that's why we try to tell y'all that the lifestyle don't go away because we take the cancer away. Because we are able to cure HIV don't mean you go back and live reckless. Lifestyle does not go away because the ailment goes away. Because we get your kidneys back up don't mean you go back to doing that hellacious living. You see? So this is a permanent state of being. This program, yes, is very affordable, very cheap, very effective, but at the end of the day, it's also one of those things where once you got it, you don't have to continue to keep recycling out here in this particular paradigm, looking at what you needed, convinced that you need to do this, that, and that, and the third. You got your answers out in the palm of your hand for a funky, measly little $50. Now, every day in the quiet, I do two. What we're talking about? What is the subject? The subject is being able to heal the anxiety and get into an understanding of your mental in order to understand why we do what we do as far as being triggered, but then also understanding why the honest man can also show you how to get that balance out. Okay, that's what we're talking about right there, Furman. So glad to be here. Thank you for getting on the live. No, thank you, Diaz, man. We were talking about researching ourselves in the quiet. Yes, I mean, the thing about it is you got to think about one thing, and and this is a real question. When was the last time that you could be buck bucket naked and not care who saw you? That you could just walk out your front door, butt bucket, and not care who saw you. When was the last time you felt bold enough to do that? Huh? Because the last time you felt bold enough to do that was the last time you felt bold enough to live. Yeah, probably since a baby, right? So that's how long it's been in prison to social engineering. That's how long it's been. Okay, since you've been in prison to the system. Okay, to the social engineering, right? And some people say, well, they think about doing it all the time, but you still won't go out there and do it. You see what I'm saying? You still won't go out there and do it. So it's still a barrier there, you know. But what I'm saying is, whoever gets the nerve to not just only think about it, that's one step. So you guys are closer to walking out that door. But the second one is to walk out that door. Okay? Because what happens is there's something going on the inside of you, right? That's freeing you of everything that you've been fearful of, and that's what other people think of you. That's what you think of yourself. And when you break through those two paradigms, what other people think of you, and also your inability to think of yourself in a particular way, once you break through those two things, you'll get back to accessing what it really means to be on the road to freedom. a freedom, a free mind. I had anxiety is gone, but it's transferred into chronic pain and body. Now what can I do? Firkin, your anxiety is not gone. In actuality, Firkin, thank you for asking the question. But in actuality, Firkin, anxiety is a stressor, right? It's about worryation. Let's get to the board real quick since we got a question, right? It's about worryation, right? Everybody agree with that? Does everybody agree that anxiety is worryation? Anybody that don't agree, then you can let me know. But does everybody agree that stress is worry, right? So right here, this is adrenals, and this got an E right here that stands for earth element. Okay. So automatically it's telling me that when you are stressed out, not only could you have privy to low energy kidney issues, but because of the earth element, you can also have the bone issues, the arthritis starts to set in, the lower back pain. All this is due to the stress on the body. Why I'm trying to teach you guys that you cannot do everlasting life solely with your physical body. And you ain't even gonna be able to do 120 years solely with just your physical body. You must enter into a space where you understand how to allow the mind to help you along this journey, how to allow your spirit, the importance of the spirit to your journey. You must now start to unravel. And that's why I try to teach you about what circumcision really means, is that it didn't mean the private parts here, it means the private parts here, right? Because it even get hard down here if it's not emotionally connected to your mentality here. I could have all my clothes on and she would walk around me bucket naked. I'm gonna stand up like this. She never even touched me because it was a thought first. So the circumcision was about the foreskin or the forehead. Forehead got foreskin that must be pulled back in order to allow the spirit, in order to allow the spirit to partake into this paradigm along with you, in order to allow the feminine energy to partake in this paradigm along with you. Okay, that's what this is mean, right? So when you got stress and you're in the earth element, automatically you're privy to the bone issues, you're privy to the pain, you're privy to high blood pressure, you're privy to the kidney issues, the low energy, you're privy to the lethargy, you're privy to the thyroid issues, metabolism, all of that, simply by having that anxiety and many more. Okay, many more. So that's what we're doing. Okay. So now, if you just look at it like this, you'll say, well, okay, how do we know which one of these we in? Thank you guys for asking. How many of you guys want to know which one of these you're in? Put some ones in the chat. Let's get us up to 100K, you guys. We got 45 more minutes with you. So let's make this a very good 45 minutes. If you guys are interested in your own, please DM me. We'll get you all the information that you need. All right. All right. So this is some of the information that you get with your owner's manual. Okay. If you want to know what season you're in, obviously you get all this information with your owner's manual, you guys. So don't ask me questions like, can you get this by itself? You get all of it with your okay, me, good looking love. All right. So real quick, just give me a zodiac and a birthday. Right? A zodiac and an age. I'm sorry. Zodiac sign and an age is all I need for right now. Zodiac sign and an age is all I need for right now. Okay. I can't do everybody, you guys. So just hold your horses. Let's go back up to the beginning. It looks like, oh wow, she bakes two. A Taurus that's 43. Okay. I want y'all to talk back to me. A Taurus that's 43. Oh wow, are you in the building? I'm not gonna do you unless you're here in the building and unless you're responding. Okay. Keep tapping, I'll keep talking, you guys. Let's get us up to 100K. Oh wow, are you in the building? Okay. Yes, I'm here. Taurus that's 43. All right. So remember, oh wow. Your starting line is your finish line. Okay. So right now on this map, your destination is right here. So off of trip, GPS wise, we already got where you need to end up. Because where you need to end up is where you started at, which is in Taurus. Okay. Now where you currently are being 43 years old, is that you're currently each one of these triangles is for 10 years. Okay. 10. Count the one that you come from. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and you are 3 years into Virgo. Okay. So that's why you have tuned in to me. Oh, wow. Because you are into health and fitness. Now, because of this right here, I'm going to say that you have approximately been about health and fitness as far as really been about it for the last 3 years. Okay. For the last 3 years, you have been heavy on your health and fitness because you are in your Virgoan stage. And you got 7 more years to be here in Virgo. Okay, so you're going to be about this health and fitness for a little bit longer, but you're also in the physical side of life. You're still there. You're still there. You got about 7 more years before you start getting into the spiritual time of life. So for right now, it's all physical. So keep your body physical, keep yourself fit, keep your body going for at least these 7 more years. Oh wow, what you think about that? What you think about that? Oh wow, before we move on to the next contestant. Right? Again, you guys get all this information on. Oh, wow, just said facts. I started in 2022, which is approximately 3 years ago. Yeah. Uh-huh. So now you know, okay? So this first part of your life has all been about the physical. 7 more years. Then you got to transition into the spiritual side of you. Okay, it's very important. 7 more years. Oh wow, and you need to transition into the spiritual side of you, which means that you want to conserve your energy, bring things closer to you. You don't want to exude too much body energy. You don't want to be doing all that because that's the only way that you're gonna survive. Because you got to get through this too. And again, 120 years old seems impossible because we don't know how to pace ourselves when it comes to our bodies. All right. Okay, who we got right here? Aquarius 47. Aquarius 47 years old. Look like that is Tanaya. Tanaya, are you still in the building? I'm not gonna do you unless you're still in the building. Okay, Tanaya, Aquarius 47. Okay, Aquarius 47. Tanaya, you are here. Okay, your starting line is your finish line. You must make it back to here in this life circle. Okay, and you being 47 years old, this is where you currently are. Each one of these triangles stands for 10. We got to count the one you're in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 7 years into Gemini. Okay? That's the reason why you're watching me is because I am a Gemini and you just started to be attracted to people who can communicate, especially communicating things that are out of this world because of your Aquarian mindset. Okay? In other words, here's the thing. You are in the physical side of life. So this time of life is going to require for you to be physically fit for the job. Okay. If you're not physically fit for the job, you can expire doing the physical part of life. Right. So again, you are in the physical part of life and you need to be physically fit. You're already 47 years old. Right. So you're talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. You won't make it out of the physical side of life until after 80 years old. If you're not physically fit, most of us leave away from here. But it's time. Let me show y'all something about math, you guys, real quick. Let me stop right here real quick. We're going to continue to keep going. What percentage is 9 months out of 75? I mean, 9 months. I gave y'all the answer right there. But 9 months out of 12 months. What is the percentage of 9 months out of 12 months? Is the percentage of 9 months out of 12 months? It's 75%, right? Natural. It's 75%, right? So if you only came in the paradigm with 75% gas, and some of y'all were born in, I mean, you came into the paradigm with 50% gas. Now, if you want to do that, let's say, okay, cool. Let's say um, Tanaya came in 9 months, right? Tanaya, when did you come in? Are you 6 month, 8 month, 9 month baby? Are you a 6 month, 7 month, 8 month, 9 month baby? Tanaya, which one of them are you? We'll just use Tanaya as an example. Because I'm finna show y'all something. This is real important for you to understand what you're seeing. Was you born in 7 months? Were you born in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months? Somebody says lagging. Can you guys hear me? Tonight says she don't know. That's cool. You ain't got to know. But let's just say we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you were born in 9 months. Okay. So 9 months is 75% of the pie, right? So 75% of this is 9 months. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So you really only have enough gas to live up to 90 years old. And that's in peak condition, without diseases and without ailments and without uh, 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 functionality issues. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I tell you that right here in the 80s is going to require a bunch of that, and you only really got to 90 as far as the fuel, you see how they're starting to coincide? You can't live to 120 or everlasting just simply by work. You got to know how to preserve the body. You see what I'm trying to say? So that's why I'm trying to tell you and get you to understand that you're in the physical part of life. It happens to be at your latter stage, but you got to be physically fit to make it through this part. Okay? Yeah. No problem. Okay, no problem. Keep tapping that screen, you guys. I'll keep talking. Keep tapping that screen. I'll keep on talking. Now, of course, there's more information that you get with your owner's manual. So if you guys want more information and you want to get more specific and you want to really know about herbs and foods and things that you need, as far as if you're dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers, and all these other different diseases, then obviously all you got to do is DM me. We'll get you the information on this manual, okay? But you definitely get more information than what we spitting out. But I'm just trying to show y'all something. Let's see. We got we got a lot of young people. So we got a Pisces that's 33. All right. So right here. All right. So 10, 20, 30, and 3. So you're in the physical part of life. Okay. So you're Gemini as well. So you're about communication. So you want to make sure that if you got siblings, you want to tie the knot in communication with your siblings, royalty. But at the end of the day, it's just about you being more communicative. You're learning how to be more of a communicator. You're developing your communication skills. So I don't need to fight against that part of life. All right. But at the same time, you're going to be transitioning here in a minute on over into the summer of life. But right now, you're in the side of life. So you need to be physically fit to be able to get through this particular paradigm. All right. K Brown, Taurus 26. Taurus 26 is here, so 10, 26, you got the physical side of life, you're in Cancer, so you're about home and family. Keep Brown. 48 Pisces, Taurus, 48 Pisces is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 8. You also in the physical side of life as well. You in Cancer, which is home and Gemini 32. Yeah, 20, 8, and 2. You're also still in the summer of life. Gemini 32, you're in Virgo, so you're talking about health and fitness right now is all on your mind. Jose, yes, sir, 45, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, and 5. Now you are in the spiritual side of life. You're also in Scorpio. So you're in your transformation stage, right? You're in that stage where you're trying to transform. You're trying to bring this newness on, right? You have this ability to start things and to end things. And it's going to get you through this particular Scorpion aspect of your life. But you've also been thinking about some kind of joint business situation, or some kind of joint situation with somebody. You may have been thinking about taking out a loan here recently for that, Hosey. But that's kind of where you at right now, all right? Cancer 62, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 2. So you're 2 years in your Capricorn. Okay, Cancer 62, that's William Lattimore. You're in your spiritual side of life. You're in the spiritual side of life. Capricorn, that's 50, you already know, okay? Capricorn, that's 50, 20, 40, 50. So you're in your physical side of life. Take care of your body. You need to be physically fit to go through what you're going through, okay? Some of y'all think that it's easy one way or the other. It's hard on each side and you don't know which one to fight with. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be hard on either side. Going up a mountain got its problems. Coming down a mountain got its problems. Going up a mountain got its good things. Coming down a mountain got its good things. Okay, so everybody gonna have some problems. It's about how you understand them and be able to get through. Daughter, listening, Capricorn 22. Owner's manual is amazing, but a challenge for sure. Yeah, man, it wasn't gonna never be easy, but it's right. Kiki Love One, Gemini 52, 10, 20, 30, 40, 52. You're 2 years into your Scorpio as well. So you also have been thinking about joint ventures. You've been thinking about taking out a loan or something to do business with somebody. You also been in your transformative phase, right? You also have the ability to start things which is going to help you with your Scorpion qualities as well. But you're also in the spiritual time of life. So you're going to be needing to conserve energy, be more magnetic, draw more things to you instead of exuding so much physical energy, but you won't be able to make it out of this spiritual time as well. I'm just telling you how TIE. If you can't provide the situation with what it needs, you're going to run your body down. Period. Leo 45. I hope y'all get on this, man. Leo 45, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 5. Right? So you're 5 years into your Sagittarius. Okay, so Leo 45, that's noble. 5 years into your Sagittarius, man. So for the last 5 years, you've been kind of deciding on where you want to live at, where you want to be at, what you want to do career-wise, or all this type of stuff. You just kind of been trying to figure out where you want to be as far as life is concerned. But this is a spiritual time in your life, so I would say to you, wherever you want to be and whatever you want to do career-wise, make it less physical, make it less strenuous, make it more close. Don't make your job be too far from home. Don't if you can work from home, work from home. You understand what I'm trying to say now? Don't exude too much physical energy wherever you settle, whatever you're trying to settle in and settle down in. All right, Nova. I would love it if y'all could get some feedbacks as well. Let's see. Capricorn 22, still in the winter. Okay, you're too young. 10, 20, and 2 years. So you're in your Piscean phase. You're still in the winter. Okay. But being a Capricorn 22 and being in the winter, also because you're in the Piscean phase of life, you really are going through some spiritual things. You really are going through some unknown things, some psychic type of psychological things, Capricorn 22. And you're young. And you probably don't understand what you're going through because you came in the beginning, you came into the spiritual realm. Especially being in Pisces, there are some things that I can tell you that's going on with you that is not your fault, that you don't have nothing to do with, okay? But these are the lessons of Pisces. They'll take you through these unknown things. They'll take you through these questionable things. They'll take you through these psychological and spiritual things. But this is a time that if you can understand it, you can get more healing and more spiritual awakening out of this time of your life, okay? But yes, you're in a more spiritual time, less physical, Capricorn 22. What is the most important lesson of the spiritual time of life? To learn how to rest and relax and be more content with nature. The biggest, most important lesson of the spiritual time of life is to create the baby type of dependence, right? That mother nature got you, right? So this is where that rest and relaxation. This is what I'm trying to tell you to conserve physical energy. It's about doing and then it's about being, right? It's about the baby walking, but then the baby been suckling on the breast of Mama Nature. It's about the baby developing, but then the baby also getting nurturing from Mama. It's about the baby hunting, but then also the baby resting, right? It's, you understand me? It's a duality. It's a picturesque illustration of balance. Ron's lady friend. Hopefully that I was able to uh, to eloquate that to you in the way for you to understand. Well, your teaching is awesome. I have questions. Can we have one-on-one conversation? No, I don't have one-on-one conversations unless you're doing your owner's manual, and then we could talk all day about your owner's manual. But to talk to me about this information, I don't have conversations like that. I only talk to you about your manual. Okay? That's spot on. Okay, that's Capricorn 22. Okay. Well, friend says makes sense. Okay. Who is this? Honey Hugh Brown, 64, Capricorn 61, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 1. So you're in Cancer. Okay, so Hugh Brown, you're about home and family affairs, brother. Home and family affairs. For the last year or so, it's either something between you and your mama or something between you and your children that you get your house in order. Okay, Hugh Brown. You getting your house in order. That's what you're about, Hugh Brown. You get that? You got 9 more years to get this house in order, but that's what you've been doing, Hugh Brown. Okay. Also, you're in the physical side of life, so you got to take care of your body. Okay. Thanks. Keep up. God bless. Capricorn 27. Same way Jerome James. That's Capricorn 22. 10, 20, and 7. So you've been going through some of those spiritual things as well. Hugh Brown said, yes, thank you. Okay. Jerome James, you've been going through some of those things as well. You've been going through some unknown things as well. You're actually in transition from the winter into the spring. So you should start seeing some reciprocity. Now, always remember this, kids, especially my young people, going through these winter seasons very young. Although these are spiritual times of your life, understand something and understand how it can show you an example of what to expect. Every winter, the earth get covered, and whoever has winter, the earth get covered in snow, and it gets covered in these snow compacted regions for several months. Then the snow melts. When the snow melts, that water gets absorbed into that water gets retained in the earth for grass and for trees to come back to life in the springtime. What I'm trying to tell you is that even though the winter time of life can seem very hard, especially young and especially Pisces, when you're in that Piscean phase, because there's a lot of unknown psychological things that can be taking place in young people's life. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that each winter, each tough time, also going to be ingredients for the best times of your life. If you want the owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. So Jerome James, hang in now. Don't let this winter really rob you of the essence of life. I know how winter can be for the young people, especially Pisces. Feels like I'm finding myself. That's what it's all about. We keep peeling back that onion. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. We are undergoing circumcision because we're peeling back the foreskin and we're revealing the true spirit, the true mind. Okay? Jerome James said, yes, sir. And now we're having spiritual circumcision, and it's the same circumcision that Abraham was trying to teach the people, right? Abraham went over there really doing circumcision. They were over there trying to show you that they were connected in a way to the spiritual world that was going to be identified of the people who were special. The people who were special had a connection. Circumcision is when you disconnect something, right? When you snip the cord, when you pull back the foreskin, these are illustrations of things that can happen. You can get disconnected, you can get lost in the fold. Y'all didn't get that. So you can get disconnected and then you can get lost in the fold. But when you peel back, who you really gonna see? Virgo 27, it is your daughter. So Virgo that's 27 and your daughter is 10, 20, and 7 years. So she is in the spiritual time of life. She's 7 years into Scorpio. Okay, so this has been a transformative 7 years for her. Um, Physically, you may want to make sure that the reproductive area was okay. Maybe she has some babies or has some kind of reproductive issue. But if not, that's a good thing. But this is a spiritual time, a transformative time in her life. Um, um, she may have been trying to do some kind of joint venture or take out some kind of loan to work with somebody. If that's the case, that's fine. That'll happen in that time. But the main thing is you got a lot more years, sis, to start to conserve your energy and start to utilize more of your spiritual time. Again, it doesn't matter if you're young or old. You'll find yourself over here young. You can find yourself over here old. It don't matter. You can have the best time of life early, and you can have the worst time of life later on. So it just all depends on where you started. So when I'm telling these people that you need to be spiritually fit, you got to be able to be spiritually fit to make it good. Look at this person real. She only 27, but think about it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. Most of us are leaving away from here in that time. If you don't know what you're doing, these times to wrap you up, they'll get you. If you don't know what you're doing with them, can you explain the physical side of life, family, and home? What you mean, family, and home? Were you in Cancer, Key Brown? I think you was in Cancer if you're talking about family and home. So what we're talking about is right now you're dealing with home and family affairs. There's something going on in your home, either with your parents or with your children. You was Taurus 26, so Taurus 10, 20, and 6. So yeah, it's you too. You dealing with something with your mama or something with your children. It's a relationship that's going on, something with your mama or something with your baby mama or something with your children. Burn. I want to fix income, so I would. Oh, yeah, no, take your time, take your time. It's gonna be here. It ain't running nowhere. Keep on talking about, oh yeah, my mama. Yeah, don't. Hey, look here. Hey, I know you don't think that it's supposed to know, but it does. All right, top piece to you, Libra 50. All right, so top piece to you, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, so you are in transition. Okay, you've been in transition for the maybe the last few years, maybe since 45 years old. You're trying to figure out where you're going to settle in at career wise and just where you want to live at, all that type of stuff. But that's because of this, that, and the third. But I would encourage you to understand that you're in the spiritual time of life. Conserve your energy, make things less physical, more spiritual, and put that hat on. Get you through the rest of what you got going on. Okay? Dwight, Miss Zula, I have struggled with my purpose in this life. Well, so because you put purpose on titles. And if you can't find the right title, then you can't find the right purpose. But what if I told you that purpose is any one of those titles? Purpose is simply what I'm teaching. Is your purpose is everlasting life. That's over anything. Purpose is to be here for forever in this fruitful environment. Your purpose is to live forever in heaven with God. Ain't that's what y'all be reading and teaching and learning? So what you mean you don't know purpose? Everything else that's under everlasting is something that's going to take you out of here. So we're not teaching everlasting and looking at what that looks like. If we're not teaching life, then we're not real teachers. You see what I'm saying? So your purpose is to first of all figure out how to be able to be here in the continual cycle, which is what we call the ohm. Ohm is a meter of measurement for continuity. See, it's continuity. I put an ohm on here and put another receptor on here, it's gonna beep and let me know that there's connectivity. This is infinity. It's everything wrapped up in a symbol. 1/7/1991, going to start a juice fast. All things I used to say since tonight. Okay, okay, okay. We got about 18 guys. Thank you for the 100K. Thank you guys for the 100K. You keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Anybody got any other questions? An Aquarius 64 Mickey is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 4 years into your Leo phase, right? 4 years into your Leo phase. So right now, even though you're 64, you shining, baby. You shining. All the lights on you. Very skillful, very professional, very prideful. Got the ability to do the thing that you need to be doing. We want to watch out for love affairs. You can be put into love affairs in this particular time. Also, you have this childlike spontaneity about you that you want to be able to keep. That's that Leo in you. You are really in your prime right now. The sun is shining on you. You basking in life. But do understand that you're still also in the physical side of life. So being physically fit is going to be key in order to make it through this time in your life. And then you got to go into your spiritual side in your 70s and 80s and 90s. So you want to make sure that you physically fit enough and spiritually fit enough to make it through that part of life. So you're going to go through the spiritual side of life later on. So go on and get your shine on, because around about 80 years old, you're going to have to know something else. Your body's only going to be fine for so long. Aquarius 65. Okay? You got to know something else to make it for the rest of the way. Do y'all get what I'm trying to teach y'all today? You got to know something else to make it the rest of the way. Virgo 5.71. Thank you for all that information. Virgo 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right. So you are 1 year into your Aquarian phase. So you're in your humanitarian phase, you're in your community involvement, your community awareness, wanting to give back, wanting to try to help in some capacity. That's where you at, Aang. You say you got 7 months of energy in you. So 7 months is what? 55%. So 55% fuel. If you're coming from being a Virgo, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe it's 70. This is about 55 ish fuel, right? 55 ish fuel is like 70 years old, 65, 70 years old. So you see what I'm trying to say? So I'm just saying that's just off the fuel that you came in with. Now you top that off with all kind of problems, you be running out of gas a little faster. The biggest thing is for you to know that you're in this spiritual time of life, so you shouldn't be trying to utilize a lot of physical energy anyway. You should be trying to utilize more of your spiritual understanding, and you want to conserve your physical energy. And this is the time to be magnetic, so you want to draw things to you. You want to bring life closer to you instead of you going out into life trying to get it. And that's how you're gonna spell your air in your lungs, in your tie. That's how you're gonna spell your air. You feel what we're trying to say? Spell your out. Somebody put spell your out. Trying to teach you how to spell your air. How to spell your air. Being on dialysis will take away from your lungs. Exercising will take away from your lungs. I ain't saying not to do none of this. I'm just telling you how TI is. Having faulty breathing techniques, sedentary breathing, sedentary lives, over postures, all this stuff that's making you crazy is going to shorten your air. Wearing masks, breathing in your mouth instead of through your nose. You won't spare your air. Having water that's distilled and purified with no minerals in it, you don't spare your air that way. Understanding that water is oxygen, and then eating more water enriched fruits and vegetables will give you oxygen. So you got to understand those particular dynamics and how you're doing things. Spare your L. There you go. You got to spare your L. Can I call after the live? I got my owner's manager. Yes, you can call me after the live, you guys, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can call me from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can call me. Thank you for all of the 100 likes. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please let me know. Leo64, DM me and I'll get you the information over there. Leo64, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 4 years into Aquarius, okay? You're also at a spiritual time in your life. Conserve your energy, be more magnetic, draw the life unto you instead of you going out and getting it. That's what phase you're in, Leo 64. All right, now for you being in that Aquarius stage, you also have been in your community leadership, your community involvement, your social awareness, just trying to give back in some capacity is where you've been at for the last few years, premier choice prop. All right. Uh, Spare your air waters, oxygen, eat more fruits and vegetables. Yes, stopping cigarettes. Yeah, there you go. How do I get an owner's manual? Just DM me, Sean Double, and we'll get you the information needed for your owner's manual. All right. You can go to the website and just type in email and get it that way, or we can send the invoice and we can get it to you. All right. We're coming live from South Africa, you guys. We're still here. We're still going to be trying to share this word with some of these people over here. I just got to get my feet situated. If you're in South Africa and you've been following HerbMan, you know where you can come and allow me to teach and come and allow me to divulge this information. Please DM me, get me your information as soon as possible so that I can meet you anywhere in the South African country and be able to speak to the people. Okay. So if you are in South Africa right now, you're from South Africa, and you know somebody or some people that we can speak with, please DM me your information. We'll meet up, we'll have lunch, and we'll go meet these people so we can get this information out to as many people as possible. There you go. So you need to get raw veggies instead of cooking them. You know, we need to stop using those words, okay? Because that's going to throw us off a lot of time. Foods that come from them are not raw, okay? Let me repeat this. Foods that come from mama are not raw. They already cooked. Now, if you want to cook them further, then that's fine. But there's no such thing as raw, because when you say raw, it automatically sends a frequency through the mind that either it's uncooked, need to be cooked, or don't taste well, or whatever. Raw fruits and vegetables are actually Mother Nature cooked. So you can call it sun cooked food. Okay, sun cooked. They don't need to be having. They don't have to have no electrical cook. They ain't got to have no fire cook because they sun cooked. Okay, sun cooked foods are not. They're cooked. Okay. Then you see when you start changing your your language, you start changing your mind. What about lectins? What about lectins? I mean, we've been dealing with lectins for thousands of years. I don't think lectins will ever be a thing that'll kill somebody. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're just not cooking the grains the way that you should be cooking the food. You know, at some point, we from slow cooking things to fast cooking things. Now you got rice that's made in a minute. But that ain't how rice was normally cooked. You're supposed to soak rice overnight. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to be soaking these pinto beans. You're supposed to be soaking these black eyed peas. You're supposed to be soaking these millets and these, or you need to roast them. So because we're not slow cooking anymore, then lectins became a problem with fast cooking grains. Slow cook them and you ain't got no problem with none of that bull crap. You understand me, Luke? It is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It ain't this food been a problem, but it ain't been the problem. Okay? Let me repeat that one more time for some of them folks back there in the back. Food been a problem, but it ain't been the problem. Okay? It's how we get addicted to these environmental things that we would call triggers. That's all it really is. Hey, I came in on a good subject. Yes. Learn something new. Yes. Yes. Okay. So when you're looking at the dynamic of the mind, that's what we're trying to get you to see. There's certain things that they're going to market to appeal to your body. And there's certain things that they're going to market to appeal to your spirit. And like I told y'all before, the body is Adam. Man is supposed to be the one to have the body. The woman's supposed to be the one to have the mind. But men out here looking at females' bodies instead of looking for females with the mind. Your woman is supposed to be smart. She's supposed to be ingenuitive. She's supposed to be intuitive. She's supposed to be a charismatic. She's supposed to be able to be a multitasker. She's supposed to be able to maneuver, circumvent, and she's supposed to be able to duck and to dodge, and she's supposed to be able to create something out of nothing because she's the mind. See, when you start looking at how fine her mind is instead of how fine her behind is, you'll realize which one you should be looking for. And women out here looking for men's minds instead of looking for the body. Look, he's the bodyguard. He could be smart than a son bitch, but be too weak to protect and secure you as a woman, as a mind. Look, your skull is so goddamn hard around that brain. You know what I'm talking about? Now, your brain, you might want to call it a nerve, but it's hard than a son bitch. So now you don't want no nerve man, but ain't got that security guarding effect. Because even the brain got a hard skull. So even my nerd need to have a man in them. So women, you need to be looking for the body of the brother that can protect you. Is he working out? Is he eating good? Are you feeding him well? You got your security guard sitting up there, sitting on that couch, by 350-pound belly, goddamn damn near up there by the armrest. Soon he get past the first 5 pieces of chicken, he sleep eating. And you feeding it to him. Look over there to him right now while you're listening to me and say, ain't no way in the hell you fit your bodyguard. Ain't no way in the hell you physically fit to be a bodyguard. And you husband sitting up with that fat ass stomach. Look at yourself. She shouldn't have to shame you. Look at yourself and say, God know damn well if somebody came in here willing to take my woman, you wouldn't be able to do nothing but give up. Because you're not physically fit. Nobody saw you in the role that you really are. Nobody get you to understand the dynamic in which you is. And this is why you need your owner's manual to correct a lot of the fallibility that you've been socially engineered to learn. It is causing a disease and causing anxiety in your mind, which is ultimately causing disease in your body. You have no control. You've lost control. We got 5 more minutes. You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. You've lost control. So one of the biggest things to take control back is to get the information back on you, to know your nature and to know how to align your nature with nature itself is the ultimate control back. It's the ultimate program to get you back into your happiness, wholeness, and your wellness. All right. So remember this, ladies. When you're looking for a man, you look for body. And look for this, men. When you're looking for a woman, you look for mind. Man shouldn't be looking for a woman for a body, but for a mind. A woman shouldn't be looking for a man for his mind, but for his body. His ability to secure you. You are the mind. Mind, you need a skeletal system. You need protection. You need some skin. Knowing this, you'll know everything about life. Anything we'll be getting on this man soon. Can't wait. A lot of it too. That's what we believe. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yep. So that's what we teach you, man. That's what we preach you all day, every day. Okay? All day, every day. You guys can come here. You know, we come on live every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you guys want to call me, you can save my contact information, download WhatsApp, and you can call me between the times of 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're always here. Look, I know I got a lot of my old schoolers on here, but please do the Noman's job of going and tell people we need new people to hear this, new people to get this. Again, this is the best thing for you to get if you're healthy. though you may not feel like you need to invest in anything being healthy, you don't care nothing about these folks' insurance, you don't care nothing about their medication, you don't care nothing about what Trump's saying and what nobody's doing politically. I get it. I'm on the same wavelength. But you do need something. The one thing that's different from me to you is that I got this information you don't. Okay? So don't think that you could just be like me. One thing different from me to you, I got this information and you don't. And so we want to make it fair. Okay, we want to make it fair. We want to make this thing affordable. We want to make it accessible, and we want to make it to where you can have it, receive it, get it into your possession, get it for your family, get it for your children, get it for your friends, get it for their birthday, get it for make it a gift item. Do whatever you got to do to say, hey, this is for you. This can help you get you back onto the road of wellness. And I promise you that if it can do nothing less, it can get you to start having eye-opening options about you, yourself, and I, and the paradigm in which you need to move forward in. Okay, so we guys, man, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie Herb, man. And until next time, love Herb, man. If you're dealing with health issues, you would be able to tell, right? Yes, keep it around, but I wouldn't need you to tell me. All I need is a birthday. Mama Nature do the rest. Tell you about your body. Peace. All right, YouTubers. We appreciate all the love, man. Come on back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.